Hey there race fans, and welcome to Let's Talk F1 here on the ModzCity channel. We'll dissect the twists and turns of the F1 season from the paddock to the podium and share our thoughts. This is Let's Talk F1. In today's episode, I'll cover three main areas: Italian Grand Prix review, our Red Bull in trouble, and Lando as driver of the day. Again. The Italian Grand Prix saw beautiful weather as compared to last year when the rain and flooding caused the cancellation of the event. As a tribute to Ayrton Senna, Sebastian Vettel graced the track with Senna's former McLaren F1 car and gave the Tifosi a proper treat in the process. This being the track that Senna unfortunately lost his life during a race, a true legend of the motorsport world, we have to salute the great driver for all he has done for the sport. A true icon and legend. So the race weekend sure had teams like Red Bull doubting the setup of the cars and even having sim drivers do 11 hours, that's right, 11 hours straight of racing over the course of the weekend to try and set the Red Bull straight. In FP1, we saw the Red Bull drivers complaining a lot about the balance of the car and even had encounters with the newly gravelled portions of the track. Despite this trouble, we saw a pole position for Max Verstappen, which tied the record of Ayrton Senna's 8th pole position consecutively. With no sprint race for Imola, practice and quali certainly went by in a flash. My initial thoughts of the race was a pretty boring one, to say the least. Lack of many overtakes, given the track layout, and the ineffectiveness, in my opinion, of the DRS. Even the commentators on F1 TV said the track may need to be modified to allow for more exciting racing. I could agree with that sentiment. Only in the last 10 to 15 laps we really saw some excitement between Lando and Max, as Lando was inching oh so close to Max lap after lap. Some say his McLaren might have chosen to stop just a few laps too early, the McLaren team, and Lando possibly could have passed Max with fresher tyres. What's your opinion? But as they say in F1 and the racing world on a whole, it's one thing to catch your opponent, but an entirely different matter to pass them, especially somebody like Max. I'm sure Max would have defended like crazy for the last few laps if Lando was more of a threat. Happy to see some competition for the Red Bulls, and I hope this will continue throughout the remainder of the season. What's your thoughts? Happy to see the progress McLaren is making, yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. Now, the next topic, are Red Bull in trouble? Yes, that's the question of the week. With the departure of Adrian Newey and the car seemingly being more and more unsettled beneath both drivers, what happens next at Red Bull? During the Italian Grand Prix, we saw Perez struggle massively despite a poor quali and ultimately finishing 8th overall, behind both the Mercedes drivers. I honestly expected more from Checo in this race, especially since he is somewhat of a tyre whisperer of sorts and knows how to manage tyres effectively. Maybe it was the car setup or the track wasn't suited for the Red Bull's dominant performance. Why do you think Perez struggled at Imola? Your thoughts in the comments below. I ask the question again. Are Red Bull in trouble? McLaren is certainly a potential contender to overturn the winning streak and place it in their favor by getting more and more close to Max. I know for sure Lando's confidence has massively been boosted with his first win back in Miami under his belt and out the way. He even commented to his race engineer after the Imola race that not winning hurts even more now, implying since he knows now what that winning feeling is. Will Lando have more victories for the rest of the season? I think so, especially if he keeps up this pace and momentum on track, thereby giving Red Bull something to really think about. Driver of the day, most definitely, had to be Lando. After that stellar performance in the race, showing true pace against the mighty Red Bull of Max Verstappen. I think an honorable mention has to go to Yuki, who yet again has scored points and even made huge impressions during quali. This would be yet another finish ahead of Daniel, who finished 13th compared to Yuki's 10th place. Do you think Yuki is ready for the Red Bull seat next to Max? That would be interesting to see him in that team dynamic and of course to witness what he could do in that Red Bull car. Time will tell for all the driver slots. We have to be patient as the teams make these critical decisions. That's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. This is Let's Talk F1.